Hello Internet, I'm Dan.
And I'm Chaz, and this is Wine is Serious Business, episode 158. Dan's back from Italy. We finally get to film another show. It's been a couple weeks.
We did not miss a week while I was gone either, and I thought we were going to miss this week because Chaz is heading out tomorrow for Thanksgiving festivities. We're filming a day earlier than usual. This is the first show in a long time that we're shooting only days before we publish it. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah,
By the time this is up, this will only be a couple days past.
Yep.
We'll be in the middle, or I will be recovering from a big tasting weekend.
You will be. I gotta work again.
Yeah.
Mine was last weekend.
But his girlfriend's birthday's over the weekend,
yep.
So family time, birthday time, good celebrations in the works for you.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you all had a good time. Short show today, 2 wines.
The first is the Cameron 2011 Dundee Hills Chardonnay. One of our favorite producers in the valley. Makes really good Chardonnay.
Have you tasted this before tonight?
I have not.
Okay.
No, this is a first try for me. The 2009 I was a big fan of, but the 2010 was came off a little oaky.
I think we were a little off on it, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't terribly fond of it on release.
But we love the Pinot Noir.
Oh yeah, the 2010 Pinot Noirs.
So something about them, like they're famous for their single vineyard, like very well-respected vineyards, like really high-quality bottlings, but something we both discovered, actually without a doubt, through doing this show, that his entry-level bottles are... You should try all of them every year because when they're on, they are so good.
And they're not expensive. That's the thing. Like this one comes in. This is the mid-range bottling, I think, for his stuff. Like he does the Willamette Valley, and then he does the Dundee Hills.
Okay.
And $19 a bottle. Full retail.
So. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's see how it is. 2011.
It's opened up a little from the pre-taste.
Yeah.
This smells good.
Definitely a little bit of oak on there.
Yeah.
But
it's got the like bright, pear fruit and apple fruit to balance that out.
That's totally it. I was just like, fruit. It's pears.
No, it smells wonderful. It's got a little bit of like pineapple honey component thing going on.
Honey, jeez, you don't even need me today.
No.
Yeah.
And a little bit of acidity like sparkling through in the nose too. Like you can sort of get how acidic this wine's probably going to be on the palate. So. And
it really, like with that oak, I think it even kind of needs that. It's got that little bit of a pop,
a little zest,
little tart that I think without the oak even might seem a little sharp. So on the nose, it's already
it's a good combination of like that and richness on the nose. It smells good. Wow.
Yeah, that's really nice, man. Already very well integrated. Clean, soft on the palate. This like really gentle and graceful kind of evolution across the mid palate. A lot of the stuff we were talking about on the nose comes through. A little more apple flavor than the nose suggests.
Golden apples.
Yeah, but this like touch of richness with the oak and the fruit. Really amazingly integrated right now for how young the wine is. It's great.
And I was a little worried based on the nose and the pre-taste that like this is going to come off a little too acidic for me because I am a little susceptible, or I'm a little, the way my tongue perceives acidity, I tend to like a lower acid wine. This wine is high acid, wouldn't you say?
Sure. Yep.
At least for me.
It takes a while to settle in, but it definitely comes through in the end. Yeah.
But the feel of the acidity, then the way that it touches down across the tongue, it's fantastic. Like this is beautiful acidity.
And the complexity at this price point is even kind of shocking to me, right? Like this richness kind of lingers, lingers with a little bit of weight in the back of the tongue, and the acidity is drying out everything on the sides. Really enjoyable. The fruit's solid. Like you do get a little bit like the acidity takes on maybe even just a little bit of lemony characteristic.
Totally.
And if it wasn't for the oak, like if this was stainless, this would be ripping. And I think I'd even have a hard time with it. So I'm seriously impressed at how well the oak and the acidity is balanced out. The fruit flavors are fantastic.
See, you're nailing it. So I completely agree with what Dan just said on this wine. Like, integration and complexity at this price point is astonishing, just beautiful. So I'm gonna go 90 points on it.
I'm gonna go 91, and I'm second guessing myself. Like if somebody told me, Like if somebody blinded me on this and said this was a $50 bottle, etc., like how would that affect how I approached it? And I wouldn't second guess them. Like if somebody told me that this was a $50 like top end Chardonnay from somebody that they loved, I'd be like, oh, that's nice.
Wow.
So it's delivering at double its price point.
I really can't. I gotta agree with that.
Yeah,
totally.
it's delivering at double its price point. Just like we were saying beforehand, man, like his entry level stuff is sometimes just killer QPR. So thanks for making such great wine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we should link up that video that he just, Michael Alberty from Storyteller's been pimping, that video on Cameron. Have you seen that? I
haven't seen it yet. So
okay, it's cool. It's kind of like an interview with John Paul.
Oh,
it shows
nice.
the vineyard and stuff. It's follows them through a harvest of Clos Electrique in 2012. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
It's a cool video, but we'll link it up in the comments. I poured myself some more. Go ahead and get your rinse.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's a nice Chardonnay.
It is delicious. Alright, so the next wine we did is the 2011 single vineyard Medici Vineyard from Cheylon's Bow and Arrow Pinot Noir.
And we both had this before.
Correct. Pretty weird to see like single vineyard stuff from 2011 out this early, right? Like, 'cause, I mean, this was out
right out of the gate.
This was out really early. I mean, we tasted this 3 weeks ago,
something like that.
Yeah. So I was kind of like, oh, that's a little remarkable to see the 2011 higher end stuff already out. But man, it tasted just wonderful. So had to pick a bottle for the show, see if this is really was standing up to the small taster I got while down at Storyteller. So.
And you know, this is a new winery, project of Scott Frank. His wife Dana works with him on this too, but she's been on a show with us way back in the past talking about Austrian wines.
Yeah.
So we've kind of been aware of what they're up to for a while, and I've heard a lot of great things about this project from a number of people. Really well respected in the area, but this is the first wine of his. No, sorry, the first Pinot Noir of his that I've gotten to try, and we both really enjoyed it. We're like, man, we should share this with some people. So,
yeah, I should put it on the show.
Yeah.
Totally interesting style. I mean, it's very, very light. It's 11.5 alcohol, right? Really low. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Oh man.
More funky characters than we got. So again, we checked them both to see if they were corked or not, and there's more complexity on the nose now than when we first popped it for sure.
I gave it the old Molly Duker shake.
Yeah.
You know, so
air it out a little bit.
Yeah. So. Yeah, some of that funky earthy complexities coming out of the nose, along with like really, really soft, more ripe red strawberry fruit.
Yeah,
and, like,
strawberries for sure.
Really, really gentle red fruits. So.
Kind of like dried earth and a little bit of leather. It's not like the super soggy forced floor like you get out of some other Oregon wines.
Yeah, just a touch of savoriness to the nose too, like a not a soy component, but just like a touch of like savoriness. Maybe a little bit of soy. I don't know. A little bit of that. Anyway, cool stuff.
A little bit of stoniness too. Yeah.
It smells wonderful. So.
Real nice and clean on entry too. The strawberries he was talking about are like dead on, like just barely ripe. There's still like a good touch of acidity to them.
I love the way this feels in the mouth.
Yeah.
Like, it's got great weight for being such a low alcohol wine. You know, like they talk about higher alcohol wines tend to blanket the tongue or tend to be a bit heavier on the palate. I would say this has really substantial weight for something coming in at 11.5, right? Just the way that it feels, like the way it sort of coats the tongue. Not that it's like cloying or heavy or like overdone. No, there's nothing overdone about this wine at all. It's just something about the way it feels to me is fantastic. So.
Really liking how the acidity evolves. It's really, really slow, and it gives just that slightest amount of grip very late on the finish, but you can really just kind of like feel it coming in, and the fruit lasts through it. Like the strawberry flavors, pretty straightforward, but delicious, and they stick around.
I'm getting a little more though once you swallow it, like sort of a pomegranate, and then red tea. Think of like some steeped red tea. As tannins start to settle in on the sides of the tongue, it's like adding a little bit of earthy components to the sides of it, but yeah.
It's a little more accurate. At first I was thinking it'd be like a little bit of the green, bit of a strawberry you bit off. You know what, I'm going to stick with that. There's a little bit of leaf on the strawberry there. Not too much, but the red tea texture is also is definitely tied into it.
Wonderful. So for me, this is the acidity I like in Pinot.
What is the price point on this?
think this one's closer to 30.
Okay.
I think it's in like the 28 range, or maybe even like 32 range. I can't remember, honestly. We bought it down at Storyteller. I have no idea.
And we talked about this when we tasted it too, that this is on the lower side of Oregon wines for a city. There's still plenty there, but...
Right. Because when we first tasted this is one of those ones where I like to gauge other people off of, because a lot of people like high acidity wines. Dan likes high acidity wines. So for me, when I taste this, I was like, this is right where I like my acidity, right? Like, it's on the lower end, but it's in balance with the rest of the wine. And Dan agreed, so...
Yeah, and I wouldn't, I wouldn't call this like flatter. Like, the acidity is still there and palpable. It's just not as, sharp and as sometimes you see. I've also been, thinking about, and I'm trying to put this in a note sometimes, like, wines are often very different, whether you sip it, swirl it around for a long time and drink it, or whether you drink it kind of quickly. This, I think, part of it's due to it being a younger wine. For like drinking in fairly quick sips while you're conversing or while you're busy doing other stuff, works really, really well. I think you get like just this big burst of bright, clean fruit, and it's really enjoyable, consumed quickly. And I think a lot of other wines aren't well served by that, but this is like right into the point, and I like it in that context, especially.
And at least for me, a surprisingly long finish. Maybe that's attributed
I'll
to the way that the
too,
acidity progresses. Like, it doesn't wipe anything out. It sort of just leaves the fruit there, keeps it clean, keeps it fresh.
And the fruit doesn't fall off.
No, the fruit is,
I even kind of expect it would, and it doesn't. So,
I like this a lot. 91 points for me.
Okay, good.
I'm a huge fan of this. This is right in line with what I like. I can touch, it. 91 points is a great score. Yeah.
And the thing that most reminds me of really is the 2010 Teutonic Laurel Vineyard, the battle wine, right? Because it is that young fruit that's like really friendly but still full and just ready to rock. Yeah. That's another nice thing about this wine for 2011. Like, don't wait, right? Like, it's ready right now.
Yeah,
like,
you can totally
enjoy it.
This. Yeah.
90 points for me, just barely. Like kind of like we were talking about. I think he's seen a little more complexity than I am, but I still really like it. And the fact that it's got that length, a little bit of evolution on it.
Great Oregon.
Solid, enjoyable, and
Oregon Pinot.
Really looking forward to trying out some more wines from these guys as we get exposed to them. So, nice show. 2 great wines today.
I got a question today.
Go.
What'd you guys drink for Thanksgiving?
Yep.
That's easy, right?
Yeah, just a couple days ago.
You know what you're gonna take to Thanksgiving dinner?
Man, not at all. Man, now that you said that, like, I should know. You must have something.
Oh yeah.
You're going down to see the family, right?
So I got the 2009 Faust Piest, the Syrah, like what's the highest end vineyard one that they do?
Oh,
I can't remember. Something Rock Vineyard or something like that. Yeah. So some of their Syrah, we did one of their Syrahs on the show. It's the sister of that one. There's like 2 higher end Syrahs. And also a bottle of the Cameron Ramato.
Because that was you and Matt were another friend of ours was just going crazy about that.
I am so effing in love with that wine. It's so good, and it's crazy cheap. It's like $17 to $20 a bottle, and I think it provides
more skin macerated Pinot Gris.
It's complex. It's like got a little bit of tannic body to it for being a white wine, like you serve it chilled, but like just the fruit is just a combination of watermelon, seeds, red fruits, appley. It's everything. I love it.
Wow.
Blown away by it. So taking that down there to share with my parents, because I think my mom will be like over the moon about it. So.
Nice. And I don't have any like big Thanksgiving plans like that. Just going to 2 different dinners with friends, and so there's going to be some Riesling involved. There's going to be some Oregon Pinot involved. I probably won't pick the bottles until the day before. That's how it goes. Hopefully you guys had a great time, whatever you did, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great Thanksgiving. So see you guys next time.